I can't thank all of you enough, man. This is therapy for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen therapists, I've done that. This is therapy for me. The way I process things, the way I heal from things is I need to talk it out. I've learned that. I need to talk it out, get it out, get it off my chest, just blah. And you guys continue to support me while I do that. Rock with me while I do that. And thank you so much. I appreciate y'all so much.
Shit, I'm about to go wait in this place when you dropping the bass in. The beat is like the streets of awakening. I'm making to break my foot off of somebody's ass. I'm waiting for someone to say my name so I can annihilate them. Okay, then everyone was screaming the rape when I was kicking at the gate till it caved in. Belly scraping by, but now I'm paid. Look at the paper I raked and I'm caking like Jay-Z and Drake. And I hate when people say that I ain't killing shit. The game is my playpen. I punch you in the face and end up breaking your break bands. I'm far from Hollywood. I'm posted up at the days in. Even though the industry say I'm the latest sensation. Drop the smoke at the board show. They're coming complacent. Mama saw me on TV with just a bum in the basement. You a Captain Saber, ho. You just be tucking the cake in.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Hopefully you had a good weekend and having just a really good life thus far. We always start out with what I'm grateful for. Again, I'm grateful to just be here, grateful for God, grateful for my family, grateful that every time that I make a mistake, I'm given another chance to learn from it, bounce back, come back stronger. And that God in all his wisdom has continued to give me the strength to keep coming back from anything that happens. So I'm very grateful for those things. Today's topic is, you would think that I've talked about fear so much that this wouldn't be a reoccurring theme, I guess you could say. But yeah, fear versus silence, right, Corey? That's what we named it. So I am happy that I've learned and that I've gotten better. It just doesn't make me feel any better. So I've talked about it multiple times on this podcast. It's one of the biggest moments in my adult life outside of kids, marriage, and things of that nature. Just that happened to me is almost 10 years ago now, dislocating my knee, wrecking my knee apart, training for a fight, and, losing the ability of using my right foot and figuring out how to walk again, how to move around, how to do things and just function again. And since then, I've come back stronger. I've come back better in some ways, at least mentally and emotionally. But during that time, this injury and how I dealt with it contributed to a lot of issues with my ex-wife. So I didn't know how to communicate the fear I was feeling. I didn't know how to communicate the pain I was feeling, how I felt worthless at that time. Like I couldn't do anything. Everybody was driving me around. I had to be in a wheelchair. I had to walk with crutches, and just going through all this, I didn't know how to communicate that. I didn't know how to communicate that I'm afraid that I'm never going to be able to do these things again, that the doctors are right. I'm never going to be able to fight. I'm never going to be able to walk without a brace or a cane. And, I didn't know how to communicate that. I didn't know how to not continue to try to be Superman. And and because of that, I kept it locked in so deep that, it made me a little bitter at times. It made me look at life differently. And so it wasn't until I got back to training, getting back in the ring, competing again, that I was able to let go of those demons, right? And I mention all that again because helping my fighters get ready for a fight, and also it's something I haven't talked about, but I started training more myself. I've always lifted a couple days a week doing things, but I've been riding my bike. I even started jogging, which is weird, jogging with one foot. It's an interesting experience, and like, you know, jog for a little bit and walk a little bit, jog for a little bit, just trying. It's not even the cardio aspect. It's just that rhythm of, basically hopping along, jogging, and starting to grapple more, because my goal was in 6 months to a year, I wanted to compete in a BJJ tournament. That's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I was like, okay, instead of rushing myself back into it, I'm going to take my time into it. And I was enjoying that. I was actually, I shocked my wife and I shocked some of my fighters. Somebody went to shoot in on me and I sprawled so fast. They were like, I didn't even know you could move like that, because everything I do is very slow and methodical. And I showed a lot of explosion right there, which I know I have, but it's just whether or not I want to use it. And I say all this because Sunday, working with my MMA fighter, and working with the whole group, coaching and just doing wall work and doing things, I was starting to adjust how I was going to defend takedowns. So instead of just, when someone grabs my leg, instead of just giving it to them, I wanted to actually defend it. So now I'm reaching for ankles. I'm reaching over them. I'm doing things. And my fighter goes for an ankle pick, perfect technique, beautiful. Instead of just allowing, the wall was right behind me, but instead of turning to the side and just falling down like I normally would, I was fighting it. And my leg straightened out, and all I felt was everything just tighten up in my hamstring. And I was like, okay, that sucked. Fell to the ground, scooted off, made sure my fighters kept working, and eventually walked a little bit. The foot was still working. Everything was good. I was like, okay, cool. It just hurts really bad. The next day when I wake up, there's a lot of bruising. So I'm like, okay, that's not good. So I go in and I find out that I tore my hamstring. And like, I'm like, okay, like how bad, how severe are we talking? And so they basically, when they explained it to me, they told me that I tore the long distal muscle in my hamstring. And I recognized that, I recognized the word right away, because I completely tore the long distal in my bicep. So I'm like, okay, my arm still works, though. I can still do a lot of things. My long distal's completely gone. They said, and they explained it. I'm like, okay, so what does that mean for my hamstring? They said, well, it depends. They said, if it's completely torn away, you can live with it, but you're going to be limited on what you can do. I'm like, okay. And they said, the only way to recover it is to have surgery. And when I started looking in the recovery, that's like 6 months to a year. And if it's a grade 2 tear, it's more like a sprain, and it could come back and work. It just depends. I might still need to have surgery. I definitely don't have a grade 1. So this is where the topic comes up, fear versus silence. Right off the bat, I shut down. I keep to myself, and I'm like, I'm going to push through it. And of course, I still go to my gym. I still teach class, and I'm limping around. I don't even want to take a crutch. And all I'm thinking about is like, I cannot be laid up again. Like, I don't know if anybody has experienced that, but when you're laid up, when you go from being active to doing something to laid up, Like I was laid up. I couldn't even go outside and play with my kids. So the thought that might happen again, it was messing it's still messing with me. No more lower body workouts, no jogging. Today was the first day I even walked in the morning, and it was like half a mile because I'm trying to like not push it to its max. And the only thing I know that I'm doing a little bit differently is that I remember laying in bed the other day and just breaking down. Like I just told my wife, I'm afraid, yo. I'm so afraid that I'm gonna be stuck again. That I'm gonna have a surgery that's gonna require me to do nothing. And it's all these weird, and that's the weird thing about fear, right? It's all these weird thoughts. When you are afraid of something, your brain starts playing tricks on you. So like I'm afraid that how am I going to show up to my son's football games, right? And we have a routine. Like we have a handshake we do. I'd say a prayer after he's warmed up. These are all things that I'm so accustomed to doing. Like, what if this surgery keeps me from doing that? That's not realistic. I think like, are my fighters still going to rock with me if I can't get in there and hold pads for them, if I can't get in there and do the job I do? That's probably not true, but who knows, right? Is my marriage gonna fall apart the way it did during my last injury? Again, probably not true, but like, now I'm gonna have two messed up legs? And I try to find the humor in it. I try to like just make jokes out of it. And my son, being a 15-year-old son, of course, he made the best joke of all. He was like, now that you're limping on your good leg, it sort of balances out so you look like you're walking normal. Which is great. It made me laugh, right? But it doesn't negate the fear. And I'm so frustrated because I'm not going to reach my goals. My goals for weight, my goals for competing, my goals like... I was so afraid. I was supposed to have a guest today. And when I didn't have my guest, I was afraid to talk about this even. And I only know it because I was looking for a way out. And what sucks is that I don't know. And I don't get an MRI for a couple more weeks because they're so booked up. I'm like an emergency triage case, and I got to wait for the MRI. And it's nothing like it's not like I had a heart attack. It's not like I suffered brain damage right now. But the thought that I may not be able to move, the thought that I might be laid up again is like, I'm not afraid of much in this world. I am afraid of being laid up. I am afraid to be stuck in a bed, right? And all I can say is that the greatest thing that I've learned and that I've done in 10 years is being able to communicate with my spouse about my fears. Is just being open and transparent that this is what I'm afraid of. that I cannot let my ego take over completely and just let me bottle it up. It's weird. It's really weird when you think about it. Fear is a pain in the ass. Like, I'm not afraid if someone comes up to me with a gun, like, and it's just me. If it's my family, I'm afraid of that. For my family, I'm not afraid to fight. Been there. I'm not afraid to compete. I love competing. But like the thought of being stuck in a bed, yo. And I can tell that I'm afraid of how other people are going to perceive me. And you know what's weird is being 45 and still and catching yourself thinking like that. To realize, like, damn, all the growth, everything you've done still comes back to, like, you're worried that that how people are gonna perceive you as weak. It's not like I tore my hamstring just chilling. I tore my hamstring grappling with my young MMA fighters. But still, it's like, man, am I gonna be weak? It's this crazy thing. Thank you, Prince. Yeah, man, being laid up sucks. I'm mad at my girl, scared to lose what I worked so hard to grasp, but I am the one who messed it up. I mean, if you messed it up, you just got to come to terms with that. That's the best thing I could tell you is come to terms with that. But like, man, it's the fact that I didn't want to come out here and talk to y'all, man. Like, this is crazy. I love to do this, but I didn't want to share and be this open about this. And it's so crazy because I share so much of my story. I am extremely afraid they're going to tell me it's completely torn and it's going to take surgery and I'm going to be out. Like, I've had 3 other surgeries since my first knee surgery. And I haven't stayed in the hospital for more than an hour. I have left within an hour. The second time I had an ACL procedure, they woke me up 20 minutes after it was done. 15 minutes later, I was signing a paper saying I got to go. And I walked out and went to my gym and taught a class. That's how serious I am about not being laid up. Like, that fear is driving me to get up. When I got my 3rd ACL procedure but the first one on my other knee, same thing. Same thing. The last procedure I had when I reversed my vasectomy, same thing. Get me out of here. Are you sure you could say, nope, get me out. I want out. Yeah, I'm not afraid of the procedure. I'm afraid. Sorry, Cosmo said that's not fear. You've had multiple procedures, yet okay with leaving same day. Yeah, I'm not afraid of the procedure. I'm afraid that I'm going to be stuck and laid up. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that I'm not going to be Superman to my fighters. They know I show up, torn rotator cuffs, bicep barely hanging there, multiple knee surgeries. I show up and let's work. Outwork me, baby. And the thought of being laid up is crushing. It's crushing. Unc says, I have come to terms, but I feel like I'm being pushed down and helped back up, feeling like I failed because I don't feel wanted or good enough. Yeah, man. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself and know that people are gonna rock with you. And I'm not just saying that for you, I'm saying that for me too. Fear, man. Fear gets you. I don't know their name, but they said get a hair transplant. Well, I'm good. I'm good, bald, homie. I have no fears about being bald. I am good. I like being bald. I used to have hair down to the middle of my back with braids. I am happy I don't deal with that every day. I'm good with being bald, homie. Thank you, Mary Beth. Yeah, and man, I'm not coming to y'all because it's sympathy. I'm trying to let you know that I'm almost back to the same place I was 10 years ago, where I'm looking at possibly a major surgery that's gonna put me down for a little bit. And the one thing that I'm doing differently is I'm communicating. I'm not just holding it in. I am talking to my spouse. Like, yo, I'm really afraid of this. And like to the point, like it brought tears, just like I did on here. It brought tears talking about it. So like, it's this understanding that like, you can't keep that shit bottled in. Fear wants you to keep it in. Fear wants you to keep it private. Fear wants you to keep it locked up, right? Because then it could play tricks on you. It could really mess with you. Mary Beth, it's just if I need it could possibly just be a hamstring surgery. And it's funny because I say that, and man, I don't play for the Packers. Man, that was
want to see you on Sunday.
Yeah.
On the sideline.
Nah, man. Like I'm a former fighter who was training with my fighters and tore my long distal in my hamstring. How bad it is, or if there's a ligament gone, we don't know. The doc said how did he put it? He said, you for sure tore your long distal muscle in your hamstring. We don't know to what extent, but it's definitely torn because there's spots where we don't feel it. And he said, I am telling myself that I feel your ligament in here when I press really hard in here. So again, it's not like I'm having heart surgery. It's not like I had a stroke. You know, I'm grateful that I'm not having these other things. At the same time, I'm very frustrated that I suffered another injury that will possibly sideline me from just living my life. That's going to keep me from doing some of the things that I was preparing to do. Train for a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament. Do certain things that I was doing. Like, but again, I'm communicating that. I promise you, a decade ago, I would have kept that thing locked up and I just would have been mad at the world. And I would have pushed it and made it worse, because that's exactly what I did with my bicep. That's exactly what I did with my knee. It's how I dislocated my knee in the first place. I kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. I partially tore my bicep when it eased off for a couple weeks, came back too soon, tore it completely off. So it's like now I'm nursing my leg, right? It's been about a week now. And because I'm nursing it, I'm elevating it, I'm icing it, I'm putting heat on it, I'm doing my PT exercises that they gave me already. And I'm feeling the other muscles are starting to like do the work for it, right? There's a lot of movement I can't do. Like bending my heel to my butt is the most painful, hardest thing ever, right? If I step a certain way, I feel that leg wanting to give out. It does not like it. Today was the first day I even attempted to walk my dog, and we only did half a mile. So, but again, talking about it is, it doesn't make it better. It doesn't get rid of the feelings. The fear isn't gone. The fear of being laid up, the fear of all that other stuff. What it does is it clears out the space so logical thought processing can come in and do its job. Mary Beth says, and they won't know until they go in, so the recovery time is unknown. Yeah, I'm basically waiting at MRI. Like, our hospital is so backed up. Like, I'm an emergency case, right? Quote unquote, because I went into the ER. But they won't do an MRI unless your leg is about to fall off. So I still had to schedule it with orthopedics. Rushing me in, mind you, I still got to wait until like September 10th or 11th or something like that to get an MRI. So then I can find out what the next step is. And then I don't know how backed up they are from doing a surgery. Like, but I'm blessed because the guy who will do the surgery has worked on my knee 3 times already. And he works on all the UW Badger players. So I'm very blessed. Because he knows what I want to get back to. He knows I want to get back to training. He knows I want to get back to holding pads. He knows this already. So, like, if I wasn't trying to do something, I don't need the surgery. Like, I could probably continue to do PT, let it heal. Let's say it's a grade 3. Let's say it's nothing's there on the long distal, right? I could live my life like that. I could figure it out. The thing is, I don't think I would be able to do kicks. I wouldn't be able to grapple. Like, now you're talking about, could I live without it? Yeah, if I had to. But the thought process of not being able to kick, I spent 3.5 years rehabilitating my leg so I can kick, so I can compete. And now I'm just going to give it up? Can't do that. So the whole basis of this, man, is just remember, when you are afraid, you have to vocalize that, man. You have to get it out, journal it, do something. Like, and the thing is, we all have people in our corner. It's very rare we have nobody. Not saying it can't happen, but rare, right? If I didn't go to my spouse, if I wasn't married, I'm blessed my mom is still around, right? I'm blessed I still got my boys, my childhood friends. I still got people like Corey. You know what I'm saying? My brother over there behind on the 1s and 2s back there. I got my brother DJ Payne. Like, I have brothers, right? I have people I can talk to. But it's on me to open up and talk to them. And our first instinct is never to open and talk, especially as men, right? We keep that to ourselves. And the only one that gets hurt by it is us. Because we just keep secluding ourselves in darkness and darkness and darkness. And like, until it's too much. Fear versus silence. I'd rather vocalize my fears than just live in silence. If that makes sense. Thank you, Mary Beth. I appreciate you. Yeah, I just won't be able to train. Like, I want to compete in BJJ. I really do. If I medal, I medal. If I don't, I don't. It's just like, I want to give it a run. You know what I'm saying? Like, do something I haven't done before. I mess around and win that. That's gonna be crazy, right? Be dope. And I want to give it a whirl. It's one of the few things that when it comes to combat sports type stuff, it's the one thing that I can feasibly do that won't cause a lot of brain damage. And as I get older, I'm very mindful of that. So, yeah. Man. Communicate y'all fears, man. Don't hold that inside. Communicate your fears. Recognize that the more you talk about them, the less power they have over you. And if you don't believe me, just watch Star Wars, yo. Just like the entire story of Anakin basically tells you this. If he would have just been open and honest with somebody, he wasn't open and honest with Yoda. So Yoda couldn't give him the best advice. He didn't tell Obi-Wan. I guess he did tell one person. It just sucks that person used it against him. Which can happen. That's the shitty thing about life. You're still better off talking about it and communicating with people. Especially if you're married, man, you got to tell your spouse. You ain't got to word it like, oh my God, the world is coming to an end. I don't know what I'm going to do. You come to them and be like, I'm afraid of this. I don't have a solution for this. I don't know what to do. And do you have any ideas? Any thoughts? My wife just told me that we'll get through it. Not the end of the world. We'll get through it. And she's got me. That made me feel better. Because I didn't feel like I was alone. Who could or should I communicate to if I only have myself? You don't have no friends? David, you have no friends, no parents, no siblings, no nothing? I lost my wife. Man, bro, you lost your wife. Here I am talking about a damn hamstring. I lost my wife this past year. Now I feel alone. Bruh. I mean, yeah, that's a major part of your life. If any one of us lost our spouses, we would feel alone. Definitely. My question remains though, are your parents alive? Do you have siblings? Do you have family that you're close with? On either side, right? Are you close with her family? What about your boys? Where's your boys at? So, because what happens is sometimes we don't talk to other people, and what happens is they assume they don't want to overstep, right? People want to they don't want to overstep because they assume you're going to ask for help. And it's this weird assumptions, like you don't want to become a burden on people. They don't want to put pressure on you. I have my sister, but I am close, but I don't want to interfere with her life. Yeah, that's what you're basically describing what I'm just saying. You don't want to be a burden on her life. However, she's your sister. So if you start to spiral, right, and you lose yourself, then that's going to be a heavier burden on your sister down the line. You don't have to put all your problems on your sister. You could come to her and say, hey, would you mind if I hung out with you and your family? Because if your sister is married, if she's got kids, or if you can hang out with her. I don't know what the age difference is. I don't know the situation, but even going out to eat with your sister, going to the movies with your sister, just doing something once a week if you can, or just calling her up and seeing how her life is, right? That will all of a sudden allow you to not feel alone. I'm not saying you got to call her and say, I'm feeling alone, I'm lonely, and I don't know what to do, and I miss my wife. Like, yeah, you're going to have those moments, but you could also just call her because you feel alone. Just call her and ask her how her life is going. Ask her questions. Let her just talk. So you get that connection. Hang out. So you get that connection, right? And like I always tell dudes, or I tell anybody, not just dudes, like go work out. Go do a martial, like do something. Do something, especially in your situation, David. If there's something that you've always been curious to try, now is the time to go try it. As long as you're not trying to skydive, I guess that's still cool. But like go try something different and just try it. And like just change it up a little bit so you can get into a different routine. Right? But definitely like hang out with your sister. Again, I'm not saying, when I said talk about your fears, right? You could tell your sister that you're afraid, like you're feeling alone and you're afraid to be alone. Can you call her more often and ask her how her day is? Like if that's really what you want to do, or just hit her up and talk to her. Especially when like those are things I should do. You are right. And I have been wanting to try out things like but no, remove the but. Fear is the only thing key. Like this is the thing. Fear of losing someone else and the fear of facing yourself, facing the fact that you did lose somebody important to you, right? Fear of moving on with your life. So you got to face that. Like, okay, this sucked. This chapter in my life sucked, right? Because I don't know how old you are, David, but let's say you're like 30 years old. You have 30 chapters. It happened within the last year. So chapter 29 sucked, right? Chapter 29 hit you with something big. Now it's the time to start like, okay, let's keep it moving forward. The scar is always going to be there. The pain of losing someone like your spouse is always going to be there. Always. But I guarantee you that your wife wouldn't want you just sitting around not moving forward with your life. Not like, I'm sure if she could tell you to try something new, hang out with your sister, call your sister, see how she's doing, hang out with her. I'm not saying become a party animal. I'm not saying go around just doing all this stuff with chicks. I'm simply saying move forward in honor of your wife. Is there something you guys plan on doing together? She's older than myself. I mean, I want to try out BJJ. I'm 50. I'm wondering if I'm too. Bruh, we got older than that in my gym doing BJJ. I'm 45. I was still grappling with my MMA fighters. I was planning on doing a BJJ tournament within 6 months to a year. Bruh, go do BJJ. You will find a brotherhood over there. Like, I don't know what, like, if you want to tell me where you live at, I can look at some gyms. If I don't know the area, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, go enjoy that. Go enjoy that. I'm too old, bruh. Not too old. Just getting started. By the time you're 65, you could be a black belt. And grappling, you could do tournaments. They have a seniors division. It's great. You're not too old.
God put David in this chat for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Corey just said God put, yeah. Damn it. Corey said God put David in the chat for me. Yeah. It's crazy. Cause my hamstring don't mean shit compared to that, boy, I tell you. But like, and David, just send a brother a DM. You got someone here. I'll respond to you, B. You go ahead and tell me all that stuff. I want, like, you can share. And the cool thing is you probably never gonna see me in person. So you can just share away. I also recommend journaling. And I was serious about if there's something that you and your wife had planned that you should go do. You should do it. Like, you're going to cry. You're going to wish your wife was there. But you need to talk to your wife. Let's say, for example, I don't know. There's some vacation you wanted to do. Maybe, I don't know, man. Let's keep it simple. You wanted to go see the Grand Canyon. I'm just keeping it simple. When you go see the Grand Canyon, you don't want to look crazy, but you could talk to your wife. Talk to your wife. If there's a spot you wanted to go eat at, go eat there. If you don't want to talk to your wife right there because you're worried about looking crazy, I get it. But you could write things down. You could journal. You could talk to your wife later. I will take you up on that, but I would feel guilty to enjoy the things we always talked about doing. Yeah, that's understandable. Your feelings make sense. They do make sense. We can't argue feelings, right? I'm not going to debate your feelings. Let's just put logic behind that. Would you want your wife to still go do those things if you passed away? Or would you just want her to sit at home and not go do those things? Yeah. You want her to go do those things? If she was a good wife, she's going to want the same. Go do those things. Right? Because she's not here. You need to go do those things and then talk to her. You can still share those experiences with her. It doesn't even matter what you believe in, right? Remove religion out of this if you want. If you don't believe in God, right? Remove it. We're still energy. You can't debate that, whether you're religious or not. We are energy. So the energy is still here. So you can still talk to her. You can still picture that smile she would have. Like, you got to share something with someone that not everybody do. I do believe God has got what got me. Yeah. If you believe in God, then you already know. Continue living your life and put faith in God. Continue to move forward. Enjoy the things that you guys said you were going to enjoy so you can live those moments and talk about it with her. Because if you believe she's up there, right? You believe she's in heaven, then you can have a full conversation with her. You can talk to her. You might be surprised on what you hear back. I feel you, Billy. We're not debating that. So, seriously, David, DM me, man. I like, send me a picture. Send me a paragraph when you go enjoy some of these things. I don't need to know details. Just let me know when you go do these things and let me know how it's going. Let me know if you're enjoying it. You're welcome, man. Like, thank you. Honestly. Thank you for sharing. Like, that's hard, bro. But that's the first step, sharing. Now step out of the darkness. Live your life. Live your life. That's the best gift you can give to your wife, is living your life. Because you know as well as I do, you would want the same for her. Man. Ugh. This is crazy. That really put everything in perspective. I'm over here crying about a damn hamstring. So many bigger things in life. I'm going to be laid up for a year. If it's torn, I'm going to be laid up for a year, and I'm worried about that. Oh, man, David, thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. I'm always here, brother. DM me, man. DM me. Hit me up. Is what we do, man. I don't know, man. I'm just trying to have a dialogue, let people just talk, man, and be able to respond back, man. It's crazy. I can't thank all of you enough, man. This is therapy for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen therapists, I've done that. This is therapy for me. The way I process things, the way I heal from things is I need to talk it out. I've learned that. I need to talk it out, get it out, get it off my chest, just blah. And you guys continue to support me while I do that. Rock with me while I do that. And thank you so much. I appreciate y'all so much. And hopefully you guys can feel the power to do the same, man. So yeah. If no matter what you're following me on, please like, subscribe, follow. Clips are coming out like crazy. We keep sharing things. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. Like, please share. Man, I appreciate y'all. David, and you know what? Not just David, everybody, man. Keep living your life. Keep moving forward. Remember there's always another step that you can make. You can always get off the ground. You can always keep moving forward. I love y'all, man. Peace. You control you. We out, baby.
Shit, I'm about to go wait in this place when you dropping the bass in. The beat is like the streets of awakening. I'm making to break my foot off of somebody's ass. I'm waiting for someone to say my name so I can annihilate them. Okay, then everyone was screaming the rape when I was kicking at the gate till it caved in. Belly scraping by, but now I'm paid. Look at the paper I raked and I'm caking like Jay-Z and Drake. And I hate when people say that I ain't killing shit. The game is my playpen. I punch you in the face and end up breaking your break bands. I'm far from Hollywood. I'm posted up at the days in. Even though the industry say I'm the latest sensation. Drop the stuff at the board show. They're coming complacent. Mama saw me on TV with just a bum in the basement. You a Captain Saber, who you just tucking the cake in. I fuck your baby mama in